Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Monday morning, April 6th. We're looking at partial days of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. We're looking at its market profile. And right now, with just about an hour prior to go, we're looking to large gap higher out of a 3-day balance. Here's the top of it, even though we were one time framing up, into the 4-day balance. We've been trading at a very visual level a good part of the morning, right below that price spike from March 31st, right? These things don't go away. They're very, very visual. Remember, we had a B shape for long liquidation on Friday. Sellers tried to push it down, got nothing out of it. There was no tempo. They had 5 attempts at a trend day down, failed each and every time. So what happened? Once, just like short covering makes the market weaker, long liquidation with just weak longs getting out eventually will make the market stronger, at least in the short term. So before we get to anything, I just want to say something. A lot of exciting news happening here at Camelback Trading. I've been working over the weekend and with my soon-to-be 22-year-old daughter who will be graduating college and has been finishing up from Clemson at home because of the virus. Been working on something. I'm hoping to start my own channel. The target date is Monday, April 20th. I'm looking to put out a video on all the details and everything, most likely this Wednesday night. I'll do my usual recap, and then at some point after that, put out a video on what I am looking to do. So I hope you guys watch that once it's out. I'm really excited about it. Let's get to what's going on today. So right now, we're looking to open higher on a pretty large gap. This is going to be the 4th attempt to fill this huge gap, right? We got into it the first day, got into it the second, again more on the third, and now today they're trying, right? There's still an hour to go, trying to fill this gap. Is the all clear signal on? I don't think so. We're dealing with short-term traders. We have been now over the past probably week to 2 weeks now, right? After the long-term players got out of this market with some huge selling. Remember, Friday's volume was only 135 million. It was the worst volume since this whole thing started, right? That was a telltale sign. Remember when I said when the laggards possibly getting out? No, I'm not saying that these are the laggards. They could be. Remains to be seen. But it's something certainly put in your memory bank as we go forward. So let's go over destinations and a game plan for this morning. So right now, we're not going to use Friday's high on the upside. We'll use it on the downside. Right now, we will still use the gap fill since there's still an hour to go. So 256.22. Right now, it was 300 points still. That would fill the gap from April 1st. Then your next destination would be 257.94, the price spike from March 31st. Then we have this 259.94, 9 wide. And then we have 258.13 right now is our pre-market high. So we would use 258.13 after the price spike, in between the price spike and the 9 wide, okay? So if they're finally accepted above that, you should go for the overnight pre-market high, 258.13, then your 9 wide, then 260.64 afternoon rally high, and then the top of the 4-day balance, which is 263.33, which is a weekly high. And that's important because it's the intermediate time frame. Remember, we are one time framing up for 2 weeks, even though I put us in balance, as you see in the charts. For the downside, our first destination will now be our pre-market high. Our pre-market low, and I'm looking right now at 257. We're trading right around there, so there's a good chance that's going to change over the next hour. But right now, 257. Then it would be Friday's high of 253.22. So right now, that's a 378-point gap. It's amazing how large these gaps have been lately. Below that, if you had to fill the gap and until we get more market-generated information, we wouldn't have anything to 245.22, which was Friday's low. right? Remember, with everything that transpired, all we had really was the high and a low from Friday, since there was no 9 wide, no single prints, no rally high, no pullbacks. So again, destinations far and wide apart means price needs to seek its level. Look what it's doing this morning, right? Same thing. And then below that, 244.59 daily low and 243.90 weekly low. So what's the game plan? Well, remember we said here's the bottom of the 4-day balance. It was such a key thing to get accepted into, and we went in and out of it on Friday a couple of times before it was rejected. Same on Thursday. Well, right now, it looks like we're firmly accepted into it and trying to close the gap. If you do that, at some point, and I'm not saying today, eventually you should test the top of the 4-day balance. But you're going to have pit stops along the way. First one being this very visual one, which is H's low and the price spike from the 31st. So for a game plan, I don't want to be a buyer with this larger gap. Overnight inventory is long. There's a good chance you're going to get some inventory adjustment. I would like to see that. Like to see it taper and then get long. So I'll have my increments in one. We'll see what the volume does. We'll see where it opens. If we go back and forth through the opening, do we not test the opening? Those are the things that are going to factor when and if I take a call play in a period. If we're to open, say around here, push down just a little bit, but keep coming up and having trouble getting back over the opening, I don't want to be long just yet. However, in the next hour, if we're to open, just say somewhere even below the gap, come in a little more, taper off, and then get back above that opening, well, then I'll get on board, because odds are you're going to at least fill the gap and then test the price spike. So everything has to be put into context. So right here, am I looking for a call play? Not right now. But I certainly will be at some point with higher value. Now, as far as a short play, again, when you're shorting on a gap of this magnitude, it's not being done because I think the gap's going to be filled. However, you might have a nice pit stop initially at the price spike. So I probably would take a put play here, right, to see if you do get some kind of inventory adjustment. If you get accepted above it, I'm out, because your next destination, obviously, well, I mean, our pre-market high is right around there. So 258.13 and 257.94. I would wait till the pre-market high is taken out and see if that's all they want to do. That's not a lot of heat to take at all. But if you get accepted above the price spike and the pre-market high, I'm out, because now you're talking about almost $2 higher to where we were 9 wide, and then the afternoon rally high after that. So you would have a pretty easy out if you got above here. Now, in the next hour, if we open above the price spike, then I don't do anything. Then I'll watch. I'll see if we get up to 9 wide or the afternoon rally high to take a put play. So those are early plays for this morning. And then let's go to the charts. So the monthly, right? Month just started. Right now, inside month, I said it would be nice to have one. I wouldn't doubt we do. The odds will increase every day we go on, right? So the inside month and the trend line are my two big things. We're still pretty far away from the trend line. So right now, monthly is just down, one time framing down. Weekly, now it starts getting more and more interesting as we go into the lesser time frames. Weekly is one time framing up, 2 weeks. However, I said I put it in balance because we weren't getting any distance. Well, once again now, we're starting to attempt to get towards the top of our weekly balance. Do we get above it? That remains to be seen. Right? We're still $6 away from it, even though we're trading up almost $9 this morning. So right now the weekly's in balance. The main goal at some point this week is to take out last week's high. And then the daily, we were one time framing up, although it was still a 3-day balance. I said my main focus was this gap and this gap. Well, as of right now, it looks like they're trying to fill this gap. Once they do that, they'll be firmly inside this 4-day balance and then looking to attack the top of that balance. All baby steps. Markets are very, very visual, and especially when it's being traded by short-term traders, you're going to see them stop at these very visual points because that's exactly where these algorithms are set to. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.